This is for our tutor, my boss.
Okay. So you
Okay.
can.
Good job. Okay, so I already started. And before we start with our exercises, I want to know if you watched the videos that I sent to you. Yes or no?
Yes, teacher, I saw it.
Yes, I
Good.
did.
They were, they were two really interesting videos, and I want you to do a little summary before we go right into the practice. Okay, so who wants to give his or her review about the first video called CAE Speaking Part?
That video try give explanation some about how to speak about hobbies, work, and give some suggestions. How, for example, give long answers. Listen the question, pay attention, and in the answer be enthusiastic. Listen to partner and listen be careful the question to the teacher to ask by teacher or partners is the first video.
Okay, excellent. That's right, Olga. Good. Alirio or Alicia, which of the advice or tips that the first video gives you, do you find more interesting or more important?
For me, I think so that I'm sorry, the tips because in the video say no short answer. The enquester is too interesting because sometimes the answer is too short. Is is something is difficult too, no?
Mm-hmm. Okay, yes, you're right. Usually in part one, you get really simple questions and you may think, oh, but we usually answer these in a really short way. But no, you have to go forward and give a deep explanation in as much details as possible so you give a long answer. You're right. And now, Alirio, what do you think about the recommendations that he gives about corporal expression and those things, like eye contact and the advices that he gives? What do you think about that?
Yes. In the video, he mentioned it that it's important. Okay, I think one of you already said that to be enthusiastic during the interview or the test, like make eye contact with the examiner, like don't be like so afraid about him. Actually, he's just a tester. Okay, so I think that there is no problem with that, especially with people that is like more outgoing. It could be difficult for someone that is so shy. I know in those cases it's so difficult for them, but it's not my case. Teacher, I just want to mention something which is really interesting, and it's that you can ask for repetition, and you won't lose marks. That's a very important part, because sometimes we can't understand everything. So it's better if you ask, even if you ask twice, and maybe to make sure if you get the correct information in order to answer the correct question.
Hmm. Yes, Alirio, that's right. You mentioned a really good point. That is that if you don't hear well or if you're not sure what you understand, it's better to ask for repetition. Maybe when you're taking a test, you say or you think, oh no, but asking, can you repeat again? Maybe that's not a good idea, but actually it is. The examiner has no problem with repeating the question or saying it again. The problem will be if you answer something that it's not the actual question. So that will be a mistake. Not asking for the question again. No, that's not a mistake in those cases. So yeah, good point. Take that into account. Perfect. So now, what about the second video? What do you remember about the second video that speaks about speaking part two in the CAE test?
Me, teacher, or any?
Yeah, go, don't worry.
Oh, okay. About the second video, I don't know. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes?
Okay.
Yes.
Um, okay, the first one is like don't state the obvious, like try to find similarities and differences between the pictures. So it's better if you choose like two pictures that they are really different. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you choose one that or two that they are alike, probably it will be more difficult for you. You will get troubles with that because depending on those pictures, depending also about your vocabulary, so it's better to choose two different activities, and in that way for sure you will find many differences and it will be easier to contrast them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right. Perfect. Also, I want to mention that when we get to this part, the second part, class meeting, we practice it, right? And it's a really short time. It's only 1 minute to answer the question. So you usually go to describe the picture, but as you remember in the video, they mentioned that describing is too obvious. The examiner knows what the picture is about. So try to not describe, but go right into the comparison and the contrast,
Contrast.
all right? Without forgetting the question that you're supposed to answer. So remember that last class we saw a picture about, what, no, one picture, some pictures about college life, and you had to make a comparison about what's the highlight parts or the most important parts of college life. So your objective last class was to go right into comparing or contrasting, as Alidio says, finding similarities and differences on the pictures instead of just saying, oh, I see a group of people hanging out. No, like go right into the contrast and the comparison, okay? So now that we get the part of remembering the for we're going to practice about 20 minutes for each one of them. And I'm going to share with you my screen. Give me a moment.
Teacher, your call has interruption.
Oh, you can listen well or no?
Now, yes.
Okay. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, good. So this time I have a different set of pictures, okay? I'm going to assign for each one of you two different pictures and a different question, okay? So try to, oh wait, but this is part two. Huh. No, wait, no, part one. I'm losing 1 point. Part one, excuse me. So part one is about personal questions, just the starting point. And I have here a card with some questions. I'm going to assign each one of you a question. If you want to copy it, it's okay, or just see it in the screen. So for Olga, the question is, who do you think has had the greatest influence on your life and why? I mean, this question, the last one. Who do you think has had the greatest influence on your life and why? Alirio is going to answer the question, have you celebrated anything recently and how?
Okay.
And Alicia is going to answer the question, what do you enjoy most about learning English? This one. Okay? So, only one question. And you have 2 minutes to answer that question. Okay? So, is there any volunteer or I choose who start?
Excuse me, repeat please what question? The number what?
Yes, of course. Alicia, the question for you is, what do you enjoy most about learning English?
Okay.
Teacher, what is the time for this answer?
The time is 2 minutes to answer one question.
Okay.
Okay. Olga wants to start?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah? Okay, perfect. So,
The
you have
question
the
is
timer here. Tell me?
the question is who do you think have the influence on your life?
Yes, yes, that's right. Oh, and let me tell you something. While your classmates are answering their question, I need you to pay attention to their answer and prepare one question for them, okay? According to their answer, right? Yes or no?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
So Olga starts. Remember, 2 minutes, and you can start now.
Okay. Well, the person who influence in my life is my son because all the days encourage me to do different things, maybe cooking, maybe exercise, maybe watching TV, and to have reflection about cartoons. He always try to give me motivation and give me example about how grow up from difficult situation. He is 6 years old, but his energy, he is smart because he's a boy, but he has connection with my my style or maybe my motivation. So this is the principal influencer in my life. Other person is my grandmother because when I had problems, she talked with me and tried to give me advice and give me motivation through her experience and histories that lived in the past. So she gave with me the experience and the learning and try to show me that all situations have solution and I can do it. There are two people strongly important in my life and they have a lot of influence in my life. I I enjoyed to spend time with them and make different planner or activities with them.
Okay, excellent, Olga. Perfect. Only one recommendation. At the beginning of your intervention, when you say that your son reminds you to do good things, you want to say todos los días, right? And you say all the days. That's right, but it's better to say every day. Okay? The frequency expression, it's every day instead
Every
of all the days. Yeah, with every. It's better
okay,
to say it every day.
okay,
But
okay.
rest your answer. Good, that's the point. Giving as much examples as you can, explaining your answer in detail. That's good. Excellent. So now, please, Alidio and Alicia, remember to prepare a question for Olga according to her answer. Okay. And now we're going with Alidio. Alidio, remember that your question is, have you celebrated anything recently and how? Okay?
Okay, teacher.
Okay, 2 minutes, and your classmates are going to prepare a question for you according to your answer. All right?
Right.
Okay, good. So let's start now.
Okay. Did you start the timer?
Yes?
Okay, sorry. Okay, the question, have you celebrated anything recently? Yes, I have. Actually, the last weekend, my family and I were celebrating a special event, which was the 50 year, oh my God, 50th birthday from my mom.
Mm.
I actually was really astonishing experience for me. We had some problems because my sister wanted to do another thing, like for example, she wanted to pay a round ticket to Cartagena from Bogota to Cartagena, but I I asked her to change her decision because I prefer meetings. I think that the most important part in your life is your family. So having a good time, it's better with your family. Definitely, they are always with you, supporting you. So it was awesome. We had mariachis. We had a special supper dinner for everyone, and of course some alcohol, but not too much. We danced a lot, and my mother, especially her, because everything was about her. She was really happy. She cried a lot, but she cried because she was happy. So if she's happy, that makes me happy also. So yes, I had that celebration with my family. Fortunately, family, it's everything for me.
Okay, perfect. Good job. Good description. Excellent, Alidio. But remember that when you want to say también at the end of a sentence, you don't use also. Also, it's only for the beginning. The way to say también at the end is too. Okay? Okay, so
Or
you
as
say
well.
that makes me, yes. You say that makes me happy too instead of also. Okay?
Yes,
It's all right. Don't worry. It's a little mistake. But yeah, take that into account because those are important things to remember.
totally right.
I want to highlight the fact that you gave a good description. You described the reasons why you chose how to celebrate it and how your mother liked it and everything. Good job. Excellent. So now let's go with Alicia. Alicia, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, remember your
Okay,
question. What do you enjoy most about learning English, right?
okay.
2 minutes.
Okay. What I enjoy the most is spend with me is spend time with my children because my children is have native English, but is from and they are is my tutors for learning English. I have 54 years old, and is my bigger shame learn English. Difficult learn English. Is I now have 4 and 5 years of learning English in UNAD, and it's great for me because the people say, "Wow, you learn, you all woman, you maybe you don't need to study." But anyway, the more important for me is speak English, is all time have better grammar, and sometimes I want speak better, and sometimes I want speak more fluid. The speak with my family is very rare for me because um, um, my vocabulary is not too much, and my family understand me. And my rate is I speak better for because it's good for me and for my family. It's okay.
Okay. Thank you, Alicia. Good job. Okay, yes, that was a good answer. It was long, perfect. Descriptions, connections with real life, perfect. Good job. Only remember that when you pronounce the verb have, tener, right? Do the emphasis on the accent at the end, okay? Have. It have to sound the F. So the sound, the phonetics at the end, please pay a little attention on the way you pronounce it at the end of the verb, okay? But good job in the rest of it. Just take that into account, the pronunciation of the ending of that verb. Okay, so now it's the time for you to ask. I already gave you some questions. Now you are going to choose who you're going to ask and ask it. I know you maybe prepare a question for each one of your classmates, but I want you to choose only one classmate and ask that person the question, okay? And let's start with Olga. Olga, can you please choose who are you going to ask and go for it, please?
I should classmate, yes?
Who?
I choose my classmate.
Yes, you.
Alicia.
Alicia.
Okay. What is the answer?
Uh, what's your question, Olga, for Alicia?
About he said, yeah? She said.
Yes. Related with what she said. Yes.
Teacher. She enjoyed, I don't remember what she said. She enjoyed practice with children.
Yes, with her
Yes.
children. That's right.
Okay, sure.
What is the best activity you feel to learn more?
I'm sorry, don't understand.
What is the activity you can feel to learn better with the children when you practice with children?
Ah, okay. My son and my daughter is speaking English all time. Yeah, and she work and they are translator. And anyway, they speak Spanish too. But my chain is speak English with they.
Okay. The real contact with them is the best activity for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
This is my shame, my goal.
Okay, thank you.
Good. Excellent. Alicia, your question for Olga or for Alirio? Who are
For
you
a
going
lady.
to ask to? Okay, go.
What do you think about your mom learn English? Because your mom have my years. Your mom birthday is 50 years. I have 55. What think about your mom learning English?
Oh, that's a good question.
Okay, just I just want to clarify that. What does she think about me, or what do I think about
About your
her?
mom. Yeah, you about your mom.
But I don't get the point. Like, she, you mean like if she wants to study English? Sorry.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah,
Alicia's point is she's making a comparison, right? Your mom and Alicia has like the same age. So what do you think about your mom learning English as Alicia is doing? What do you think
Okay.
about it?
Okay. I
Good
wish.
exactly.
question, Alicia, by the way.
Yes, yes, it's a good one. I I wish she could. Actually, now taking about that advantage that you bring up that point. The last year, I had the opportunity to take her to the United States, and she noticed the necessity to talk in English, to speak English. So I don't know. It's like I don't want to like to push her to some point. Just maybe if she wants, but to be honest, she doesn't see the necessity here because we don't have a second language. Okay, people say that, government say that, but for me, we don't apply that. We don't practice our English like in our daily life as another countries they do. So of course, it would be great for me. It would be awesome if she studies English, but I'm not sure if she wants. It would be awesome as you classmate. Sorry, I am really bad at memorizing names.
It's okay. Good job.
Okay.
Okay, good. It was a good question. Excellent. So, Alidio, your turn to ask Olga, of course. There's no one else.
Olga, sorry, who's Olga?
The other classmate.
Ah,
Alicia
okay,
is the one who asked you. Olga is
okay.
the one in the
Hello.
camera.
Okay, hello, Olga.
Hello,
So
Alirio.
teacher, could you just for a while show me the questions?
Okay. Yes,
Just,
of course.
just one moment, please.
There you are.
Uh, okay. Thank you, teacher. So, again, Olga, you were talking about your daughter, your son, or people that have had a great influence on you. So, I want to know if you think that your daughter and your son has changed your life.
Well, yes, they changed my life because before before I be with my grandfather and grandmother, my grandparents. So, but I work, but don't had a goal or I spend my money in different things, but don't have a specific in my life or goals to do. So when my children's born, my life changed because I I think in establish my economy, to have an apartment, to study, to sorry, siempre un animalito. to to
It's okay.
excuse me, teacher. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. To have a goals, to have a schedule for different activities, and to enhance my life because I was alone in the city. So I was so I was following the activities but don't have a specific direction in my life. So they change my life with purpose or motivate to have teams and establish and to develop professionally and no more.
Okay,
Excuse me,
good
teacher.
job. You're scared of the insects. It's all right. Good job. Excellent. So now we're going right ahead with the second part of the exercise. Now it's time for the pictures. So I'm going to give you a different set of pictures to each one of you, right? Please take note of the question you have to answer because I can't show all the pictures at the same time. So take notes of the question you have to answer and the general idea of the pictures so you can prepare your answer for a minute and then go ahead. For yeah, for Alidio, the pictures are these two. This one, the soccer player, and the woman with the police officer. Okay? And the question you have to answer is how important is it to help people in these situations? Okay?
Got it.
Okay, good. For Alicia, the question is this one. What do they probably like about their jobs? And you got a pilot and a doctor. Remember, you have to compare the pictures to answer the question, what do they probably like about their jobs? Got it? Alicia, did you get the question?
Yeah, I'm sorry. My microphone
Yes?
is off. Yeah, yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. It's all right. And the question for Olga is this one. There are two pictures, a family and the other one is teenagers hanging out with their smartphones. And the question is, why are the two different kinds of relationship important to teenagers? Got it, Olga? Is she there? Yes. Are you back?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, it's all right.
Excuse me.
Olga, the question you are going to answer is this one. Why are the two different kinds of relationship in the pictures important to teenagers? You have one picture, it's a family, and the other picture is teenagers hanging out with friends. Okay? Copy your question so you can prepare. I can show all the pictures.
What are the why what are
Why
the
are the two different kinds of relationship important to teenagers? Why? Not what. Why? Why are they important? You got a family and a bunch of teenage friends.
okay?
Okay, good job. So, you are going to have 1 minute to prepare your answer, and then you go to do your performance. You have to answer the question in 1 minute. Okay?
Excuse me, teacher. I have to give the answer about this picture.
Uh-huh. Yes, you have to answer the question using a comparison or a contrast between the two pictures. Take into account the tips or the advices that you saw on the second video for this encounter. Speaking part two about not describing but going right into similarities and differences, about using linking expressions like while, on the other hand, in contrast, and about not mentioning the obvious points but doing a contrast. Okay? And it's only 1 minute, so take another minute to prepare your question, and then we're going to start. Okay? Give you 1 minute. Go. Okay, guys, are you ready? Yes, no, so.
Yes, teacher.
Okay,
Yes,
good. Okay, excellent. So let's start with Alicia. Okay?
okay.
Yes? Okay, Alicia. Remember, these are your pictures, a pilot and a doctor, and your question is, what do they probably like about their jobs? You have 1 minute to answer your question. Okay?
Excuse me, I don't can see the photo, please. The
No?
picture.
Oh,
I can see the picture for Olga. Did you move, please?
are you
Thank
seeing
you.
it?
Yeah, ready.
Yes?
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Alicia, remember, only 1 minute, okay? And here is the
Okay.
timer, so take into account the time. So let's start now.
Okay. I can see the picture, and I think so. The pilot, like the trouble. Maybe it's gray. He can see the tree, the country, the clouds, and the sun. But and maybe he go to the house. He have hungry. But in other hand, in the second picture, the doctor is too happy. He can see the man. The man is sick, but and now it's better because the man is smell and his happy face. He have happy face, but the doctor too. Maybe now is the finish the surgery and all work for the doctor is excellent. Um, and this of the pilot and the doctor like your jobs.
Okay. Thank you, Alicia. Recommendations, okay? When you give your description to for each one of them, of course, the description is in third person, right? You have to use the pronoun he. So when you're talking in third person, remember the pronunciation of the S in the verbs, right? You can say he have, no, you say he has, or you have to add the S at the end of the verb. Remember that part, okay? Maybe that's
Okay,
why
thank
at the beginning I told you, take into account the pronunciation of the end of the verb have. It's has for third person.
yeah.
And
Thank you.
also remember that the way to say cirugía is surgery. Surgery. That's the right
Surgery,
pronunciation. Yes,
surgery.
surgery. Excellent. Yes, surgery. Just
Yes,
to take that
thank you.
word into. Good, but good. You explained it. You did a good description. Great. Just, I know it's a really short time, right? 1 minute to compare and answer the question. It's a short time, but tell me,
It's 2 minutes or 1 minute?
1 minute.
Okay.
Yeah, it's too short. I know. It's a lot. Not enough time, maybe, but we have to make it work. Okay, balance your ideas and make it work. Now, let's go with Alirio. Oh, no, wait. Alirio is always
Yes,
second.
teacher.
Let's go with Olga better.
Okay.
Let's go with Olga first and Alirio at the end. So, let me look for Olga's pictures. Here they are. Olga, remember your question. Why are the two different kinds of relationship important to teenagers? Okay? You have 1 minute and try to not describe the pictures but compare them. Okay?
Okay. Well,
Remember the timer? 1 minute. Go.
the important kinds of teenager, currently teenagers think that devices are important in their lives because all the world have connection through this device, technology for checking Facebook, Instagram, different apps, and they think that is a real connection. But other teenagers feel that the connection with real nature is good and important to improve or to develop her abilities or connection with families or friends through different activities that may feel them emotion, whether a real contact and make they health is health. So that the reason why two kinds of a relationship and teenager. 1 minute, teacher. Excuse me.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, perfect. Okay, thank you, Juliet. Good job. Remember the pronunciations of words like naturaleza. You say nature, okay?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, good.
I just
All right.
like with the internet.
Okay, perfect. Nature, remember. Alirio, now is your turn, but let me look for your picture. That's it. So remember your question is how important is it to help people in these situations? All right, this one and this one.
Okay.
So yes, 1 minute
Yes.
for you to answer the question comparing the pictures. And let's start now.
Okay, we have here two pictures, and they are very similar. On one hand, we have a football player, and there is maybe she's her trainer or her doctor, his doctor, sorry, and probably she's helping him. Maybe he got some troubles in training, or I don't know. And in the second one, we have a police officer who is helping someone. It's a woman who probably is trying to get some directions. And in this case, about the question, it's always important to think about how to be a good person, a good citizen. Like that is the hope of obtaining a better world in the future. So that's exactly what we need in Colombia to stop taking advantage of all the people of everyone.
Okay, good job. Great, Alirio. Only one recommendation. You did the job to answer the question, but maybe you could have used the time instead of describing what was going on in the pictures. You could have go right away to the point of being a good citizen. So you can explain deeper your contrast and your comparison instead of describing, because as I said before, the examiner knows what's going on the pictures. He wants to know what's your idea between, or yeah, your connection idea between the two pictures. So yes, you did the point of being a good citizen and helping people, and you connected with your reality in our country. That's great, but you should have used your time to explain more that instead of describing it at first, okay?
Yes, teacher, I knew. Actually, I tried it, but I was confused between the comparison between the pictures and the question. So in that case, I was just confused because actually my question was like three times what I did. So my question, no, my answer.
Yeah, as I said before, I know the time is too short, right? Like 1 minute, it's a really short time for this kind of exercise. But that's when it comes the fact that you have to learn to organize your ideas. So, okay, the examiner knows what's going on, so I'm going to talk about the reality in our country and how we need to be good people, and I'm going right away to it, okay? But good job, okay?
Thank you.
Just take that into account to go right away with the comparison instead of starting with the description. So guys, that's it for today. Any doubts? How do you feel about this kind of exercises? About the CAE test? What do you think?
I think so is too more interesting and it's so important that the practice because it is no It then write and read, but speak. This is the for me is my problem. Speak because I know. Maybe your correction is great. I say he have. I know he has, but speak and in fast and from an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree with
Yes, Alicia,
Alicia.
you're right. Mm-hmm.
This
Yes,
activity,
of course. Yeah,
sorry, teacher.
go, please.
Okay.
Go,
This
go, don't worry.
I agree with Alicia because these activities is the best. This encounter is the best option to have right expression, options to improve the grammar, speaking, and vocabulary. So for me, this encounter is the best for a way to learn and have contact with the language.
Mhm. Okay, yes. Alicia's point is really important, right? Right. Sometimes we know how to write and we understand the reasons why and the way we have to organize the idea and, like the right way to speak. But when we are speaking like in the moment, we have to speak fast, we have to be attentive to the other people's ideas. So all those factors maybe make us to, make some little mistakes. But that's the point of the exercise, right? Like for you to learn to speak fluent as fast as possible in a condition like this, maybe with the pressure of being recorder and test, but it's a good way for you to realize those mistakes and trying to improve them, right? But in general, you're doing a good job. You're speaking, and that's the first step, right? You need to do it, even if it's with mistakes or not. You have to try it. Give it a try. The mistakes are something that are part of the learning process. So you just try it and see what things you should work on and start improving. But good job, girls and boys, of course.
Thank
Alirio,
you.
what about you? What do you think about Kai test?
Yeah, okay. I actually I already took not that test. I took the PET. I think PET is for B1 and B2. I took
Mhm.
that one like 1 year and a half ago, and I can say that an international test is really hard. It's something that you have to prepare yourself, and the practice will be never enough. Never. You need to practice every day, like depending on the test. You have to know the methodology. It's exactly what we are doing right now. So that's so important. Like if you prepare yourself to those activities, for example, to do comparisons between pictures and also have a good argument or to explain your ideas, to connect also your ideas grammatically correct. So all of them, they are necessarily, you can know a lot of vocabulary, but if you know how to connect your ideas, for sure you won't get the score that you want. So yes, it's really difficult. I did it like 1 year and a half. My score was B1. I expected B2, but I couldn't, especially because I didn't practice enough. So practicing makes the master.
Yes, yes, you're right. That's the point of this, right? Maybe in our professional life, we don't get to maybe be assessors on this kind of test, but we need them as a support to prove, I don't know, companies or institutions that we have a good English level. It is a requirement, even in college. for you to graduate, you have to present an international test or even septo. It's a test pretty similar to these ones. So the more you practice, as Alio says, you're gonna become a master. Maybe it's hard to get all the points that you have to take, because when we are speaking in our daily life, when we're using a foreign language, we usually don't have to describe pictures that way or to do comparisons. And maybe the fact that you have really short periods of time to answer makes it hard. But that's the point, right? All that pressure makes you better and makes you improve on all those details that you have to take into account. So it's important for you to understand the highlights or the importance of these kind of activities. But again, good job, okay?
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, good. So finally, before we finish our encounter, I want to ask you if you already did the model quiz for this. Did you take it already?
I did it, but I
I
failed.
haven't.
Oh God, you have to check it, please. Remember that the model quizzes are for the listening part of the course, and they have a grade, okay? They're part of this tax grade. So please check it. This week's topic is really interesting. The audio is really interesting, so try to check it as soon as possible so you finish it earlier, because I think the deadline is on Sunday, so you have a short time. And finally, the material for the next encounter, you're gonna get it on Saturday, okay? If I don't share it on Skype, check your institutional email where the tutor Liliana is sending you the information. Anyways, I think on Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to send you the information through Skype for you to find it easily, okay?
I really appreciate that, teacher, because I couldn't find that information. That's why I messaged you before the encounter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. I know. Actually, I was going to share the video 2 days ago, but I had a problem with my connection to Skype, so I didn't do it before. But next week, I'm going to share it earlier in the week. Maybe on Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to be sharing that information, the videos that you have to check for you to be prepared for the next encounter. All right?
All right, just
And
a short
also,
question.
tell me.
Okay.
Teacher, just
Tell
only
me.
a question, because I've checked it, like the, how is the name, monitoring and evaluation part in the environment. Thank you, environment,
Yes.
and I didn't find our scores.
Yes, exactly. This task 7, finish on May 3rd. Okay. So until May 3rd, you're gonna have your, and I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks earlier, before May 3rd, tutor Liliana is going to share with you the grades that you're getting through the encounters. But that's not my job. She's the one who shares the grades with you. But that's not going to happen next week. No, there's still some weeks before she shares the results. Okay?
So that
Because
means that
remember, tell me.
additionally to this activity, which are the encounters, I see here in the environment that we have a collaborative work on debates. What is that?
Yeah. Yes, yes. That I was going to explain you that activity. So you have to be attentive to your email in the course, where she's going to send the link for you to subscribe to a new schedule, a different schedule, for you to present a debate. But that debate is only one time, okay? You present it once, and that's it. And that's going to be task 3. So you have to look for the page, the link that she gives you, choose an schedule, and according to that schedule, you have a topic that you have to prepare, base it on a video about that topic, and you just wait for the time and schedule for that appointment, and you participate in the debate, and after April 14, that's like the deadline for that activity, you're gonna get the grades for task 3. But that's apart from these encounters we're having weekly, okay? These encounters finish on May 3rd, and they're part of task 7, and it's until May 3rd that you get the grades, all right?
All right.
Okay. Anyways, I think she's sharing, Tutor Liliana is sharing that information with you on the web conference or the email. Okay. And I'm going to be, of course, attentive to you and trying to give you the information you need to be right on time with your activities. Okay.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, teacher.
Any other question, or it's clear for now?
No, it's clear, teacher.
No, thank you.
Okay. Okay, that's good. So now you can go and rest. Have a great night, a good weekend. Weekend starts on Friday, so good weekend.
Great. Bye.
Okay, have a great night. Take care. Bye bye.
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 Thank you,
Bye.
teacher. Have a nice